Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 8 of What If Naruto Had the Red Rinnegan and Was Neglected. Remember to get this one to 300 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in social media platform, and also guys, stay in tune for a new episode of What If Naruto Was Given a Second Chance and enjoy that. And later on, I'm going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto Awakened a Strange Power over an Anime King 2. So stay tuned for that and I hope you guys do enjoy. And I'm also going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto Learned the Clone Secret in the beginning. So stay tuned for that as well guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice, and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all for helping and support, and yeah, so without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Begin the intro. So, the last time we left off, Jiraiya tried to attack the Sakai kingdom with a group of his soldiers. As Naruto sent one of his trusty men down there that had the affinity for lightning to an extensive degree. It was Satoshi Todoroki. As Todoroki faced off against Jiraiya, Jiraiya entering sage mode as Naruto simply watched. As Satoshi was stronger than Jiraiya, taking him on and clashing against him, subduing Jiraiya with his lightning. As Naruto told Satoshi to take Jiraiya's body after he defeated him, and the rest of the Konoha ninjas were slaughtered by the other members of the Sakai force. Minato had a sinking feeling as blimps went into Konoha with a scream on all of them. The Sakai force is blocking anyone from attacking them. As they start to show the images, a video of Minato speaking to Orochimaru and literally spatting and kicking the kids, the twins. Everyone was surprised and couldn't believe that that was their Hokage. Orochimaru was a traitor. So why was he with Orochimaru and acting so, well, friendly? As Minato rushed back to his office to find Jiraiya's head on his decks, he was beyond shock to see his sensei's head just lying there on his decks. Naruto then began his siege all around the world. As everyone started to move out, they started to attack all of the minor nations, all of the other nations, all of the other countries, and started to subdue them all. As Naruto got the report as he sent someone to help Fu to deal with the Iron Samurai country. Kushina also woke up as Naruto and Naruko spoke to her. Kushina felt scared looking in Naruto's eyes as the both of them wanted to know if she cared for them. As she told him that she loved the both of them, Naruto saw it in her face. She wasn't lying. Because if she was, he was just going to kill her. As Naruto asked what now, Naruto decided to show her what Minato put them through. After all, she's been in the psychiatric ward for a long time now, she doesn't know anything. As they went off, as Naruto was dispatched somewhere else, Naruto made his way towards the hot water country. Going there, Naruto transformed using the Nine Tails power as he decimated the place. He then went off towards one of the springs. As Zetsu came up, trying to make a bargain with Naruto, but Naruto was not standing for it as he simply crushed Zetsu. Minato Jr. was also taken by Sakura and Sai, Sakura being the next spy in Naruto organization as he brought him back to the Sakai kingdom. As Naruko had messed up, she let someone slip past and nearly kill all of the people that were there with her. As a suitable punishment has to be given. After all, she wanted to be treated like a normal soldier of his ranks, and she didn't want her to give her special treatment. She wanted to go up the ranks, although he could have just wiped away all those charges. The day passed as they made their way as Naruto went towards the camp where his brother was. As he spoke to Junior, just looking at him and hearing his name, Naruto wanted to kill him, but he wouldn't do that. As he asked Junior, was he willing to kill everyone for Minato to make him suffer? So yeah guys, so it's basically that's where we left off. You guys can switch across the bridge and check it for yourself. So, what's the begin this new episode? Will you be willing to kill those he loved? Naruto asked as he looked at Junior. Junior looked towards Naruto, but then looked down. I will, he said. Before that, your name. I don't like it, said Naruto. I'll change it, I swear, said Junior. What of? He looked around, trying to find a clue for a new name. Naruto noticed how tense he was. Take your time, Naruto said. As Naruto got up, the straps around Junior then broke. Come, said Naruto, as Junior quickly went after him. I want you and your team to kill Kakashi. Can you do that? He looked over his shoulder as he went down the ramp. Killing his father's last student would break Minato even more. Yes, Lord Brother, said Junior. Naruto nearly faltered from the title, but he allowed it. Good, I will allow 5 frontline squads and a medic squad to accompany you, Sakura and Sai, back to Konoha to keep away the other ninjas while you take care of Kakashi. Thank you, Lord Brother, said Junior. Naruto felt rage when Junior said that. He didn't intend to split any of his power with Junior, so calling him brother like that. Even Naruko refused to call him brother anymore, and is calling him her king. So it just annoyed him a bit, but he allowed it. After all, he would give the boy a chance to join the Sakai forces, or he will give him an apartment to live in within the kingdom with his mother. He didn't have the connection that he had with this boy, that he had with Naruko, but a part of his mind just didn't blame him for looking like their father or even being their father's son. Don't disappoint me, said Naruto. I swear it on my life. The next day, Naruto set up his frontline soldiers to finish draining the hot water natural gas in the hot water country, while he stepped into a retrieval vehicle as he went to the hidden stone. Time skip. The hidden stone border. A retrieval vehicle dropped down to the main entrance of the stone country. The large back door dropped down as metal boots stamped down the ramp. As Naruto stopped, as he looked around at all of his soldiers and the medics. At the bottom there was hundreds of silver ranks standing at attention with gold ranks, bronze and coppers at their side. As Indra, the head of the frontline soldiers, marched up to Naruto and stopped 10 feet away. He stomped his right foot on the ground and saluted the king. As Karen marched up as well, as she saluted her king as well. Welcome to Stone Country, sir, she said politely, as Naruto smirked a bit. He breathed in deeply and then released. He spotted at least 150 more vehicles several yards away. He placed his hands in his pockets and nodded to his division heads. It's good to be here, thank you, he said. Permission to speak, sir, said Indra. Naruto waved for all of them to be at ease, as their posture slightly relaxed. Stone Country has been fully suppressed and their daimyo has been killed. Her aunt has been reinstated as a new daimyo. Any descending voices, Naruto asked. All silent, said Indra. Naruto laughed a bit. That is excellent, well done, he said, as Indra bowed. Karen, any casualties? A silver rank Fuinjutsu frontliner stepped on a mine in the country, destroying the tunnels underneath, and it came down on them. The rescue soldiers were able to dig out 20 of them, but one of them is still in critical condition. Wasn't the scouts sent before they were followed, Naruto asked. No sir, said Karen. They were chasing a stone team and they were led into a tunnel. That isn't a good enough excuse, said Naruto. Make sure they're well treated. Karen nodded as Naruto looked towards Indra. Make sure this doesn't happen again. There's a code, a procedure. I want to be followed. That is why we are superior. And if any casualty is not followed to the letter, this is what happens, said Naruto. Indra bowed deeply. I am sincerely sorry, my lord. Good, said Naruto. If an enemy team ran into a tunnel, a scouting division was to lead the way before anyone else go in there. The scouts are better for tracking and finding traps before anything could happen. What of the current state of the Earth country, Naruto asked. The country is on red alert. The borders have been closed, and the security around the Earth capital has been increased. The Tsuchikage and the Earth family is currently in a panic room, and the Tsuchikage is preparing to line the attack on us in the next 10 minutes. The spies are still close to the respective leaders, so we found out. You would think a man as old as Onoki would be smart enough to sign the scroll. Naruto says he shook his head. He's just as headstrong as A, and you all know how that turned out. As Naruto wondered though, why does Onoki want to attack this camp? There are 9 other camps, a few larger than this one, surrounding their country. Your spies said it's because this is closer to the hidden stone other than the other camps. If that is so, then we best not keep him waiting, said Naruto, as he continued his walk past the platinum ranks. "Make the order, Indra," said Naruto. Indra nodded as he placed his finger in his right ear as he started to give out commands. The soldiers around him started separating the rows and stomping towards Earth Country. Many miles away, the other captains ordered the same things as their soldiers started to surround and close in on the hidden stone. As Naruto made his way, thousands of Sakai soldiers behind him. The smirk on Naruto's face became quite twisted as he walked forward. Flashback to a few hours before, the cinema blimp left Konoha with a message with a recording of Naruto and Naruko being treated badly. He didn't know when the tears started to fall and flood down his cheeks. He didn't know when he collapsed on his knees. He didn't know how long he has been staring in the head at his decks. Jiraiya the Toad Sage, Jiraiya of the Sannin. The man stared at him, his head alone, with one open eye, the other eye ripped out of the socket with blood coming on his face that was dried up a long time ago. His frizzy, white short hair, seeing that his long hair was sliced off, just reaching down to the base of his neck that was left. His face was purple and bruised, like it was rapidly hit over and over. His front teeth were knocked out, scorch marks on his face like he was hit with electricity right in the face. He was the best of the best, Minato knew that without a doubt. He was his teacher, his former teacher, an unranked ninja that had the power to destroy our country if he wanted to, but now he was dead. Minato slowly got to his feet, the eyes that watched him as he went over to his decks, toward the head. He closed Jiraiya's lone open eye. As he swallowed thickly, a teardrop went down and dropped right on Jiraiya's head. As he saw a card behind Jiraiya's head, he reached out and touched it, not even really caring about traps. He lifted up as he clenched his teeth at the words, carved in gold. "He wasn't worth my time." That was what the card said. The card then burst into fire as Minato watched it, crumbling the ashes. His hands dropped to his side. The envoys in the office winced as the Hokage kicked over his decks. The deck smashed into the wall and broke, making the head fall and roll on the ground. Minato walked towards the window, his anger flooded him as he saw the people surrounding the tower. People yelled and pushed against the barricade. A few of his ninjas set up to keep them back. They wanted answers to what they just watched. He closed his eyes. Konoha was divided, and it was his fault. His son had played his hand and revealed his dark past for the entire village to see. They wouldn't listen if he told them that he did it for them. He could even sense his guard hatred. "You've torn us apart, haven't you, demon?" he whispered to himself, looking down the crowd down below. "You've shown them what I can do, what I would do for them, and now they hate me for it." He turned around as Kakashi was there. Kakashi tried to hide his disgust at his former teacher for what he did. It was sick to know that Minato could do something like that to 2-3-year-old kids, not to mention his own kids. "He took my son, didn't he?" "Yes, sir," said Kakashi. "They were on the Hokage's monument and his flying vehicle captured him." "And his teammates?" Owl saw Sakura knock Junior out and saw Sai carry him to the vehicle. So, they were the demon spies. I can't say I'm not surprised. They were good kids. Were you able to track where they were going? I lost sight of them after they left Fire Country borders, but I suspect that they're going toward the Hidden Stone. Minato watched all the chaos. People below him were looting stores. Those who still believed in him were fighting back. He sighed. "Bring back my son, Kakashi," he said. "Yes, sir," said Kakashi. "If you encounter that demon," Kakashi stopped as he held onto the door handle. "If you meet that creature, do not engage. Leave him to me." "Yes, sir," said Kakashi. "You took my wife. You took my son. You took my village. I'll take everything from you. I'll burn it all down and make you watch." As he ordered his envoy captain to assemble as many squads as possible, and also the rest of the Jonins, he will be leading the charge towards the Hidden Stone. Meanwhile, at the Earth Country, a man was coming towards Naruto's Senbon, stabbing him right in his neck, forcing him to stop before he was sliced in half, before his body was quickly dragged away. As the king just continued to walk, Karen, Indra was beside him, and not to mention the other soldiers. He didn't have to raise a finger, as Karen had a Senbon launcher as she started firing all of them that came towards her king, striking them down, and Indra, with his massive head-cleaving blade, was taking their head off, slicing their body to pieces while the other soldiers quickly removed them from their king's path. The buildings around him were being ransacked by his forces, family, being pushed out and forced on their knees. As they were on their knees as Naruto passed all of them, his eyes uncaring. Fire rained down on their position. Several gold ranks fly up in the air as they cancel out all of the techniques before they could even come near their king. As Naruto calmly walked forward towards a hidden stone. These people are quite stubborn. I'll give them that, he said, as he looked around at all the dead bodies. They are trying to slow our progress to the hidden stone, sir, said Karen. Well, it's certainly working, said Naruto sarcastically. As a man rushed forward, trying to engage Naruto, gold rank soldiers came forward and crashed his knee into the man's skull, knocking his body away. Right towards Indra, who sliced the man's head off and threw his body away. As Naruto looked around, all the people are on their knees in this part of the town. Sir, do you wish for me to appoint a new mayor? Asked Indra. Make sure the new mayor is smart, said Naruto, as he wanted a mayor that wasn't stupid enough to try and challenge him. Of course, sir, said Indra. He spoke to Karen. I want 5 squads to stay back just for the meantime, to keep this place in order. Yes, sir, she said. Naruto tapped his earbud. Patch me over to Nora. At once, my lord. Nora, here, my lord, said a voice. Are you at the Valley of the End yet, Naruto asked. Yes, we just arrived, sir. As a scouting team went forward to try and find any traps, Zetsu's memories only added more knowledge to their mind. It made him aware of a long time of history to think that Zetsu was that old. Have you seen Madara? Naruto asked. The woman entered a room. As Nora looked around as she saw the pile of bones, as it was connected to a tree behind it. The person had shaggy white hair that covered his white eyes so thin. It was surprising he was still in one piece. Nora nodded. Yes, sir, but he's long dead. As I suspected, I want his DNA sample sent to me when I get to the hidden stone. And I want all of the information there scrapped and given to the intelligent division to look over, just to make sense of it all. When you're finished, burn that place to the ground. Destroy the entire thing. Use a grand bomb if you have to. Take down the Valley of the End. As you wish, my lord. Naruto cut the connection. Patch me over to division head, Yamato, said Naruto. Yamato here, sir. What have you been able to get from Obito Uchiha? Naruto asked. Yamato, start to wipe the blood off his hands as he used a handkerchief as he placed it down, before looking over the dead body of Obito. Obito's body was beaten so much it was caved in, his brain was crushed to mush. It will take a while to give you the details, sir. Gloss me over the main points, said Naruto. Yamato walked out of the room as he pointed towards the dead body of the Uchiha to make his body get incinerated. A woman rushed up to him with a thin book as he opened it and started to read to his king. His ultimate plan for tailed beast was to combine all of them together, seal it into himself, thereby making his Sharingan advance into a advanced Rinnegan, the Rinne Sharingan. He would then use that to reflect it off the moon and place the entire world in the Tsukuyomi. Would you like me to explain what the Tsukuyomi is, sir? No. Your report on Itachi was very detailed about it. Keep going, said Naruto. He would revive Madara before doing that. Madara told Obito that he would use his wood release to contain all humans and trap them, while draining some of their chakra but sustaining them with nature chakra, so they would be all kept under the illusion. Knowing Uchiha, Madara lied to Obito. I guess he had other motives, said Naruto. Yes, sir, said Yamato. Zetsu informed Obito not to trust Madara, that Madara wanted to steal all the power for himself, that he wanted to unseal a deity from the moon known as Kaguya Osusuke and wanted to steal her power. A deity, huh? Yes, sir. I gather from Zetsu's memories that this Kaguya Osusuke left him on Earth as a physical manifestation of her will, a portion of her soul, if you will. Zetsu has been manipulating the world to unseal this woman he called his mother. Like you said, it will take a while to explain all of this. But right now, there's a person trapped in the moon. What do you want us to do, my lord? Yamato asks. I'm not sure yet, but I'm thinking of unsealing Kaguya and absorbing her chakra in her soul. It will surely make you even more powerful, my lord. I'll make my decision when I get Madara's DNA and Nora report. As Naruto watched Stone Ninja storm out of the gates, I'll leave you to compile your report on Obito. Understood, Lord Naruto. As Naruto cut the connection, he then started a jog towards the hundreds, probably thousands of ninjas coming towards them. Indra gave his soldiers commands as they start to move forward as well. As Naruto leaped off the ground, he crashed right into the center of the army of ninjas as he started to leave a path of pure broken dead bodies as he made his way, while the others came upon the rear and ripped all the others apart. Time skip. Oh, now this is interesting, said Naruto, as he stood on a pile of dead bodies of stone ninjas. As Onoki was currently flying up in the air looking at Naruto, Naruto lazily leaned back a bit as he looked at Onoki. The battle was still going on with the stone ninjas versus his ninjas, but he left them alone to fight because the Sakai forces can handle that, as he went to take care of their Kage, as there was also a girl there, and another fat one beside her, and there was another older man there that bore a striking resemblance to the girl. As Naruto saw the pissed off look on Onoki's face, that just made him smile. I guess the whole family is here, said Naruto. Let me guess. Ryusuke, Akisuke, Kurasuke, and Onoki. I bet you regret not signing the scroll now, Onoki, said Naruto. Go to hell, you filthy leaf scum. The man spat. Excuse me, said Naruto. What did you just call me, he asked. As the Sakai soldiers quickly ripped through the stone force as they went straight into the stone village as they started rounding up the civilians. We all know that you're the bastard son of that man, Minato, said Onoki. No. I know I'm my father's son. I know that he disowned me and my sister, but that is not what you said before. So I ask you, what did you call me, Onoki? The man smiled savagely at Naruto. Filthy leaf scum, he said. Naruto raised his hand. Ryusuke was pulled straight towards him as he grabbed the man by his face. Am I leaf scum now, Naruto asked. Dad, Kurasuke and Akisuke shouted. He clenched his fist as the father head exploded in his grip. As the man's dead body rolled. Answer me, Naruto said. Filthy brat, Onoki said. He slammed his hands together. Wrong answer, said Naruto. Akisuke was pulled from the ground as Naruto grabbed his face. Answer me, Onoki, Naruto said. Kurasuke dashed towards Naruto. Naruto snapped his head towards her. She was sent lowering back to the ground, forced to her knees, as her forehead smashed right into the ground. As Onoki was furious, chakra was literally oozing from his body. Naruto sighed as he shook his head and burst Akisuke's head as Akisuke rolled down the hill and meet his dead father. You would think a man as old as you will also be wise. Let's try again, shall we? And I'll repeat the question in case you've forgotten. As Kurasuke was pulled forward as Naruto grabbed her by her face. Tears ran down her cheeks and her eyes were bloodshot from pure, unbridled rage. Naruto simply looked into her eyes through his fingers. Onoki finally separated his hands. Please, don't. I will not repeat myself, said Naruto. Kurasuke cried out as Naruto snapped her arms, just by the force, as he held her by her face. You're not, Onoki yelled. As he was slowly getting close, Naruto tried to get Naruto to calm down. You're not leaf scum, he said. Very good, said Naruto, his face returning back calm. Now was that so hard? As Kurasuke panted in his arm, as her mind could only focus on her broken arms. Now please, Onoki said as he got close to Naruto, holding out his palms that were facing towards him. My granddaughter, please, he said. Naruto held up his left hand as Onoki stopped, hovering in place. Wait, he said with a smile. I was really hoping to kill you, he said, before you threw Kurasuke towards one of the gold ranks. Fix her up, he said, as the man called for a medic team. Onoki slapped his hands together, as a white cylinder started to form in his hands as he separated them. Like hell you would kill me, he said, as he fired the attack towards Naruto, as his destruction dust release came spiraling towards him. As Naruto simply slowed down time, his eyes seen at a faster speed. He picked up a head as he threw it towards the cube. It was destroyed on a molecular level, as Naruto jumped over the attack. Onoki then started to fire out several more cubes. Stay still, brat, he shouted. Sweat started to build on his forehead as he kept up the attack. I hear that your Kekigenkai is taxing on your chakra, said Naruto, as another cube came towards him. Suddenly, the cube was enveloped by a blue glow. As the cube got shrunk. Impossible, said Onoki, as Naruto was using the Priya path, sucking away the chakra out of it and shrinking it. What should be impossible is your Kekigenkai, said Naruto. A combination of 3 chakra natures. 3 that should destroy the other. Something so powerful that could literally destroy our army. by just touching them. I wonder though, said Naruto as he looked towards the cube that was currently inside the dome of his chakra. What if it sent back? The cube started to shrink even more. As Naruto remembers something Orochimaru had written down. Isn't the only one that can beat a person using Dust Release. It's another person that has Dust Release. As Naruto fired back the cube towards Onoki, with such speed it shot the man. He flew out of the way just in time to see that Naruto was gone. He then felt something hit him in the back of the head with such a force that his body was then sailing as he smashed into the ground. He then got up as his arm was ripped off by its own cube. He was surprised as he saw Naruto controlling it using the blue glove chakra. As Naruto ripped off his other arm, Onoki cried out in pain. As Naruto appeared in front of him and put his two fingers forward as he ripped Onoki's eyes out of the socket. Onoki screamed out as the only thing he could see right now is darkness. As Naruto jammed his fingers into Onoki's shoulder, shutting off his chakra. As Naruto made his body float in the air, but the man still refused to die, as he was coughing up thick globs of blood, but he was still breathing. You really should have signed that scroll, Onoki, said Naruto. But I'll be honest, he said, that twisted smile. I was hoping that you didn't. Why? Kurosaki yelled from the ground. Two medics were in charge of fixing her arms. But she couldn't move because she was stopped by a chakra suppression seal and the body paralysis seal. As the medics did not like how she was looking hatefully at their king. But it was an order from their king to heal her. Why? Why are you doing this? What do you gain, she asked. An entire major village under my control. An entire command of a country under my control. Naruto says he started to descend down from the sky towards her. As he landed, she quickly turned her head. She was scared. She couldn't look at him for too long. A chance for my forces to show how superior they are to your earth forces. As he dropped Onoki's body. A chance to fight Takagi. Lots of reasons, Kurosaki. Her jaw was clenched tight as she refused to open her eyes. You will be the new Tsuchikage. You were smart enough to want to sign the scroll, but your grandfather, he was too stubborn. As Naruto walked away as the medics returned to fix her broken arms, Onoki was lifted off the ground as he jerked behind Naruto like a doll. I got something special in store for you, Onoki, said Naruto. Naruto then walked forward as suddenly a scout appeared in front of him. He had a cylinder of Madara, residue chakra, a flake of his skin, and his shriveled up heart, all contained in a 4-cylinder. The scout left his king, leaving Naruto with his maid. As Naruto looked over, tell Akisu to begin setting up the assembled force around Fire Country. We are to invade once the Iron Country has been subdued. My sister should be with him as well. Yes sir, the woman said. As she started to relay the message, she was still recording Naruto with the camera. You don't mind if I trade in your soul for someone else's, right? Said Naruto looking at Onoki. It was like Naruto where he had to trade in Danzo's soul to get her. But to bring the Uchiha back, a human soul was necessary. A dark cloud came over the place. The temperature started to become cold as Naruto started to resurrect Madara Uchiha. Timeskip, Sakura and Sai did not hide their armor under the chameleon camouflage anymore, as they were wearing it under their red shirt and black pants. As Sakura had on red kickboxing gloves, as she was running beside Sai, as Sai had his tanto and his brush and his ink, as the two of them were behind Junior, as he had two sights on his back that were connected by a chain on his wrist. 25 other silver ranks and a platinum ranks was with them, as a platinum rank was Majai. As they arrived near to the Fire Country, she signed as 5 soldiers lifted off as they shimmered out of sight and went off. Sakura and Sai grabbed Junior under their forearms as they took off into the sky. Junior went through a hand sign transformation, he said, as he turned into a bird, seeing that the other two were camouflaged and you couldn't see them. And people weren't focused on a bird right now, not to mention the entire country was in panic. Even though it was just a day ago, the video revealing the true motives of Minato was still fresh in the people's mind of the Fire Country. No one knew what to do except for isolate the Leaf Village, thinking if they made contact with Konoha, that the Sakai Kingdom and the king would come and, well, raise hell upon them. But it already started, as the Sakai Kingdom, all of them, were marching around the border. The invasion for the Fire Country was starting up. It took roughly 20 minutes for them to get there, as Junior removed the hinge, as Majai stopped them, as she made 2 scouts go along. They returned 10 seconds later nodding their heads. The youngest division head spoke. There are two Konoha team being led. One by Kakashi Hatake and the other is Minato Namikaze. Minato and his ninja forces blast past them. Too focused on head and his toe to notice them. We will handle Yamato, Tenzo, and Yujiro, Uzuki. Team 1 is showtime. Yes, Sai, Sakura and Junior said. As Sakura kept up with Junior, what's the plan? Triple tandem, like in Spring Country. Using that attack defense that Kakashi taught us, that's gold, said Sakura. As Sai kept up with them with the others behind them. That is colder than finding out that my long-lost teammates have been serving my brother for 7 years now, said Junior. 8 years, said Sai. We were 5 when he freed us from the sound. We were only obeying orders. Lord Naruto told us to keep an eye on Konoha, Sakura said as she looked over to her teammate. Junior nodded. We can talk about that later. Triple tandem, he said, as Sakura went left and Sai went right. Junior headed straight forward towards Kakashi. Junior by himself wouldn't have been able to fight Kakashi. He was not stronger than Kakashi after all, as he was about high Jonin level and Kakashi was about mid Kage level. But he had 2 silver rank with him, as silver rank was equipped the high Kage and there was 2 of them. As Majai dashed forward towards Yujiro, as she pulled out the iron fan out of her bag, as she clashed it against Yujiro's blade. Violent sparks were sent everywhere. They pushed each other away as Yujiro pulled her blade in a reverse grip, as Majai opened her fan. Wind release, heaven, crop harvester storm, she said, as she swept her giant fan at Yujiro. Yujiro had to jump back as his ground was ripped apart into several different areas, as she was shocked at the display. How could one girl be this strong? Looking at Majai, she didn't look that strong, but now, seeing this, Yujiro knew that she had to keep up though. She couldn't allow it to fall right now, as she dashed forward and started to clash with her again. Kakashi was thrown away by a winged jutsu that Sai and Sakura had formed. Tenzo started to chase after them, as he couldn't believe the two missing Genins were now on the Sakai kingdom. The two must spend all of their time in Konoha holding back, because Sakura was now focused. She was not fidgeting or moving slow. She was incredibly faster. Sai did not wear any fake smile anymore. The both of them looked like they were mature killers. Yamato couldn't see Junior, but he could feel him hopping towards Kakashi. No doubt the boy was wielding his dual sight. Tenzo came to a stop as someone in a silver armor dropped down right in front of him, as a few more appear as well, off to the side. He looked around them as only the silver rank in front of him dropped into a fighting style. As he scanned all of them, there were at least 25 of them, and that style, he knew that style. It was a red, sinister Seal Master style from Uzu. So could all these people be Seal Masters? But still, he had a mission after all. I'm only going to say this once. Stand down and allow me to retrieve Lord Fort's son. No unnecessary bloodshed has to be shed here. The silver ranks, they remain silent until 2 of the squads on his side start to rush towards him. Find them, said Tenzo, as he speeds through hand sign. Wood style, secret technique, birth of wood dense land. The ground burst as a sapling popped out. The ground started to rumble even more as the thing got large. Roots then grabbed some of the silver ranks as the other roots tried to grab the others who flip and dodge. The great tree had widened the air, forcing Majai and Yujiro to jump away as well, as it allowed Tenzo to see Kakashi and his former team. As he was about to jump off, but suddenly the tree started to wobble. He then looked down as he saw 10 of the silver soldier ranks. They had a brown seal for compression. Secret Sakai technique, Foy Jutsu. The tree started to shrink as they poured more chakra. Tenzo had to jump where the tree was lowered to nothing more than a small thing that you could hold in your hand, as all of their comrades were free. A shining golden spear erupted from the arm of the silver rank soldiers as they all looked toward Tenzo. He quickly speed through hand signs as they all came at him. Meanwhile, with Kakashi and Junior and his team, as Kakashi sighed as he looked over at Junior and the others, as they were around him in a triangle formation, Kakashi in the center. I see. You got to your brother, huh, Junior? I didn't get to my brother. He got to me. I want to be part of a family, and the only way I can do that is... He gritted his teeth as he went into a stance, as he clenched onto both of his sides. The only way I can be part of the family is by killing you, if that is what you want. But trust me, I won't make it easy for you. As he looked at the other two, I knew that you two were hiding something, he said. Smart man, said Sai. "We don't have time for banter, Junior. This is your call," said Sakura. "Let's do this," said Junior. As his body fades out of sight, Kakashi moved as he dodged the blades. As he backflipped right over Sakura as she sent a punch towards his back. She smashed her fists together as they glow red. She rushed at Kakashi once again with Sai right behind her. He removed 2 kunai as he clashed them against Sakura's fist and Sai Tanto, but they crack. When Sakura added more pressure, chains burst out of the ground. "Hidden art. Secret Uzumaki chains," said Junior, as he threw the sickle straight towards Kakashi's neck to slice it open. The moment he touched Kakashi, he exploded, a great clone explosion. They had to jump back. "Sai," said Junior. "On it," said Sai, as he drew something on his sketch pad. A burst of wind exploded out, blowing away all the smoke. As Kakashi engaged Sakura, his Sharingan was now exposed. He couldn't believe that she was actually this strong. As he was clashing against her, he saw 3 after images as a fist smashed into his face, throwing him towards Junior, who spun and kicked the man right in his back. Kakashi quickly created a clone to engage Sakura, as he had to quickly pull a kunai and block Sai Tanto's strike. As he then shot out his other hand and grabbed Junior by the neck. His eyes focused on Junior, trying to place him under a genjutsu, hidden art, Uzumaki escape art. His body burst into several silver chakra chains before they too burst into smoke. A small cyclone of chains then came down straight towards Kakashi. Sai pushed harder with his Tanto, forcing Kakashi to skid back as Sakura joined the fray, dispelling the clone. As he was being pushed back, "Enough of this," Kakashi shouted, as a white chakra exploded out of his body, scattering the 3 of them. A white Susanoo arm shot forward and caught Sakura. He clenched her in the fist and threw her straight towards Sai, who was firing poison darts at him. The both of them were sent sailing away from the blow. 10 dogs burst on the ground and chased after the 2 silver ranks. The pure white Susanoo. It was a torso, a head, and 2 arms, as the thing growled and turned to Junior, who was running alongside it. His sickles were now on his back. As the thing brought its fist down and smashed the ground, but Junior jumped away. Water release. "Carry crystal water. Death," he said. Sharp blue crystal started to jet out of the ground right inside of Susanoo. Kakashi winces as one of them schemed right over his side, drawing blood. His Sharingan pulsed as he leaped out of the Susanoo as he smashed his foot right into Junior's face. Junior crashed into the ground and Sakura caught him, picking him up, as her face was coated in dog blood after smashing all of them. And there was a gash on her temple from where her head collided with Sai's head. Sai started to clash with Kakashi as Sakura placed Junior up, as he shook his head as she rushed forth to engage Kakashi as well. As the 3 of them engaged in, Junior getting back in the fray as Sai sliced towards him. Kakashi left his side open as Sakura launched a fist towards, but he bent it just in time, only for Junior to kick him right in the back, knocking him forward as Sai uppercut him and spin kick him right in the stomach. The moment he turned, Sakura was coming down with her fist as he twisted his body. Junior sliced, but Kakashi pulled his back just in time as the sight went through his jacket but not through his skin. As Kakashi jumped and kicked Junior right in the face, knocking him away as he had to dodge several darts from Sai. He then was smashed right in the shoulder by Sakura, who tackled him hard. He quickly got back to his feet as he deflected Sai's Tanto, as he rushed and grabbed Sai by the face and smashed him deeply into the ground. He winced in pain as Junior stabbed him right in the back. He released Sai and turned and punched Junior right in the face, knocking him to the ground. As the group started to engage him, allowing him to hit one of them while the others strike him. As he started to receive several gashes and cuts all over his body, as Sakura got a perfect hit and cracked his knee, forced him to drop to one knee before Sai slammed a fist into his face, knocking him over. Kakashi panted as his eyes were dizzy. They were defeating him with the technique that he taught them, the triple tandem. A fist crashed into his normal eye as a knee broke against his jaw. 2 roundhouse kicks slammed into both sides of his ears, bursting his drum. No attack showed any mercy as he was being ripped apart, as the sight slashed right through his shoulder, another one slicing right into his back, before Sakura's devastated fist crashed into his chest as blood exploded out of his mouth, going right on his mask. As Junior appeared right behind him, his sickle, both of them right on Kakashi's neck. He wasted no time, slice, as Kakashi's head was sent rolling and the copy ninja body fall, finally dead. Meanwhile, at the Wave Country, Shizune, hurry up. I want us to be off this country in 10 minutes, Tsunade said as she walked over the bridge that was named after the king's younger brother, as she was carrying 2 bags in her right arm and a bottle of water in her left. Shizune panted behind her as she was carrying bags as well, along with a carrier with Tonton. As Shizune was tired, they had been running from Konoha for the past 4 hours. The plan was to board a leaving ship that was going to sail to a inhabited island that Tsunade had won in a poker game to lay low for a while, until a global invasion had ended, either with the 4th Hokage living up to his word and killing Naruto, or with Naruto killing him. Tsunade sighed tiredly. Minato was not going to win, no matter how much he thought that he was. Naruto was just too strong, as she marched through the almost empty ghost town of Wave, as she knew it was that redhead that had interrogated her. Right now, Fire Country was surrounded by tens of thousands Sakai countries, ready to take over. Quite frankly, Shizune was also shocked that the Scouters and the Hunters did not stop them. They had detected a few of them, but they simply went past them. Tsunade had a reason for running. Like every other person close to Minato, she could have helped the twins. She could have protected them. But she didn't, and her guilt had allowed her to stay in Konoha to become the head medic. So there was no doubt Naruto would be coming for her head. Jiraiya, Danzo, Itachi, Obito, all dead. Their heads were nailed onto pikes in front of the hidden Leaf Village. As she still kept her eye around, the place was empty. Someone then landed as Tsunade came to a stop. Lady Tsunade, said Shizune as she pointed forward to see someone standing there. They were wearing a silver rank, and they had on a white mask that was blank. She had crimson red hair that was tied up in a ponytail. She slowly lifted her mask up and perched it on top of her head. Tsunade's eyes narrowed. Naruko? As a wicked smirk came on Naruko's face. But you're supposed to be dead, said Naruko. Oh, I know. Isn't my brother just the best, said Naruko, as Tsunade took a few steps back, urging Shizune behind her, making Shizune drop the luggage. As a wicked smirk started to twist up on Naruko's face, that scared Tsunade. Say, where are you going in such a rush, Lady Tsunade? Nowhere, said Tsunade, as Naruko started to walk forward. Oh, come on, you can tell me. You know, I'm good at keeping secrets. She then groaned as she pressed her earbud. You guys never want me to have any fun, she said. She then slumped. Brother want me to kill you too. No hard feelings, okay? Her fist tightened as 3 long animatian blade slide out of her knuckles. Try and put up a fight, please. I want a good, clean match, okay? It would be such a pain if she killed her so easily. Well, she had to get moving towards the hidden stone to intercept Minato, which would be in about 5 hours if Minato kept up his speed. She had to catch up to him and hold him back. But that doesn't mean that she's gonna have fun with the Senju. Besides, she was also supposed to gather Tsunade's DNA to be sent back to the kingdom for research and replication. She launched forward at Tsunade. Tsunade pushed Shizune away and jumped away as well. Good, said Naruko, as Tsunade got into a fighting stance. Tsunade leaped forward to face off against Naruko. Meanwhile, at the hidden stone, Madara, in his battle armor, as young as when he fought Oshirama, his body walked out of the coffin that he was resurrected in, as he stopped 15 feet away from the red head that was in front of him. There was no one present except for platinum armor soldiers and gold soldiers all around. A Sharingan scanned the place before they focused on the one who brought him back to this world. Those eyes. Red Rinnegan. Who are you? My name is Naruto. You are not Nagato. He knew that Nagato was a Uzumaki after all. He was the one that gave him the Rinnegan. But these eyes. Those eyes are not mine. No, I am not Nagato, said Naruto, as he freed the control on Madara to allow the man to approach him. But he and Konoha are a valuable addition to my forces. And no, Naruto said, tilting his head. These are not your eyes. They're mine. You are an Uzumaki. I have Uzumaki blood in me, said Naruto. I wanted to just rip out your soul and steal your memories. But the truth is, I've always wanted to kill a legend. As the bolt of their chakra started to rally up dangerously, till the sky started to crackle. As lightning started to bear everywhere, thunder, lightning, the earth started to shake. The two powerful chakras started to resonate with one another. I've always wanted to kill a god, said Madara. His eyes started to spin. I've always wanted to kill a god, he repeated once again. So it seems, Naruto said as he gave Madara control. If I win, I get your soul. And if I win, I get your eyes. A wicked grin spread across Naruto's face as his body felt so excited as Madara had a murderous glare on his face. But he was smiling as well. Madara wanted Naruto's eyes, but Naruto wanted to tear him apart. Deal, said Naruto. Madara dropped his arms to his side as Naruto removed his arms from his pockets. Don't hold back. I want you to give me all you got, said Naruto. You will soon regret those words, boy, said Madara. Both fighters shoot forward with tremendous speed. Two faint balls of light, one red and one blue. No one could keep a good sight on them, they were moving so fast. And when they did meet, boom, a collision that tore through the entire ground. Fall back, Indra shouted as all of the Sakai soldiers rushed back. This place was too dangerous for them to stand here, as he stabbed his massive blade into the ground to stay in one place because of the roaring chakra and the breeze, the debris, everything was sailing. As Naruto made, she was still recording as she was behind a Fuinjutsu barrier that was erupted by the Fuinjutsu department that was watching. Back over the field, Madara was thrown violently as the ground erupted underneath him. He slowly picked himself up. This boy was good. He blurred out of sight with pure speed as he appeared behind Naruto and tried to stab him with a kunai. But Naruto flipped on his hand and kicked away Madara's kunai. As Naruto simply vanished out of sight, Madara narrowed his eyes, trying to find the Rinnegan King. He then saw a flash at the corner of his eye as he moved back and slapped Naruto's hand. As Naruto vanished once again with blinding speed, as Madara looked around. As Naruto blurred right in front of him, as Madara slapped down two blows from Naruto and countered with an elbow. Naruto bent back from the attack and jammed his fist right towards Madara's side as he smashed 5 fists into Madara's stomach. But Madara pulled back his head and smashed his head into Naruto's, bringing Naruto down to the ground as he crashed his foot on Naruto's back. Naruto rolled on his side as Madara brought down his heel to crush Naruto's head. As he flipped on his feet, a massive ball of fire came towards him as he jumped out of the way. As Naruto flipped back, a board of wind was created as he shooted towards Madara, who flipped away as the board of wind ripped through the ground. Naruto wasted no time as he flashed through hand signs. As Madara saw it, he flashed through hand sign as well. Lightning release, Naruto said. Death of the lightning kraken. Wind release, exile. Dragon Lord. A 8-armed creature made out of lightning crackled all around Naruto. It had 2 beady black eyes and a long, squid-like neck, with a large head with long teeth made from lightning, as the thing roared, screaming to the heavens, as Madara fired off a wispy, white dragon that was made out of pure wind. Boom! The 2 massive beasts of chakra collided, tentacles, teeth snapping and wiping against each other. As both Naruto and Madara raised their hand as the wind came out, with the lightning as the wind shredded the left side of Naruto's shirt. Madara then saw Naruto speed through another set of hand signs and smirk on his face. Wind and earth release. Combination jutsu. Continental axial shift. Naruto smashed his fist into the ground. The ground trembled violently. The 2 beasts were still fighting it out as everything started to shift towards Naruto. Madara, who was just a long distance away, suddenly found his face into Naruto's fist, grasping tightly. With a massive punch, Naruto sent him sailing as he smashed into the ground several feet away. Naruto followed after him as Madara quickly flared his Susanoo to life. Naruto's fist smashed right into it, cracking it. He quickly summoned a blue skeleton arm that rushed and grabbed Naruto as he turned Naruto upside down and brought Naruto's head, smashing it down to the ground. It didn't stop there. Another arm came up and took out a chunk of the earth and smashed it on top of Naruto. As he brought it down once again, boom, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again, crushing Naruto under it. As Madara looked at Naruto's unmoving body, he gasped when Naruto's hands slapped together. Earth release. Minor shockwave, he said. Madara jumped back as he speed through hand signs as large trees erupted from the ground, rushing towards Naruto's vines. The ground was torn apart by Naruto jutsu as the trees came towards him. Almighty push, Naruto said, as all of them were blown to pieces. Madara blinked just for a second as Naruto was gone. He then felt a bone-crushing kick connect with his chest before his body was smashed into the ground by a trembling force. But Madara's body didn't explode, it was a clone that went up in a bright light, a flashbang. Naruto raised his hand as he blocked the large battle fan from Madara. He then heard a slight click. As he looked at his armor, to his surprise, it was fractured. As he blocked a kick from Madara before driving an elbow right into his face, knocking him down to the ground. He then moved towards Madara with tremendous speed as Madara raised his battle fan as Naruto started to clash against it. As Madara blocked Naruto's fist with the gun bay, thick white smoke started leaving Naruto's arms as he smashed his fist into the gun bay over and over as Madara's foot was being pushed back. Naruto's fist caught fire as Madara's foot started to slip out underneath him. Toxic red fire that crushed the gun bay. Madara spin, dodging Naruto's last fist as he crushed his foot right into Naruto's chest. As Naruto rolled back from the kick, his body caught fire as his crimson red hair waved in the air as he took on the full crimson Kyuubi cloak all around him. A massive Susanoo fist tunneled right through the ground straight towards Naruto. A massive fox head formed around Naruto and grabbed onto the fist, ripping it to pieces. The fox growled as its body formed, the 9 swishing tails destroying the ground around them. As the fox opened its mouth, a thick, black smoke could be seen. Something was being gathered. Madara slammed his hands together as he formed his perfect Susanoo. Would release form on Susanoo armor to protect it even more. As the Kyuubi started to fire out Tail Beast Ball after Tail Beast Ball. A celestial white shield came on Susanoo's hand. Multiple Tail Beast Ball. Boom! The thing connected over and over against the shield. Massive explosion tearing through the area. 10 more hit the shield and Susanoo fought to stay in place. 2 more arms came out of Susanoo as a bow and arrow popped into his hand. Amaterasu, the blue Susanoo fired off 6 blazing black arrows. As the fox moved out of the way as Madara kept up the blast, releasing arrows after arrows. 6 fox clones poofed into existence and attacked Madara. As Naruto closed his eyes, Ninetale, inversion mode, demon, Rinnegan Kitsune, said Naruto, as the fox started to change, as the cloak over his body changed from red to black. The black linings on his body changed to toxic red. The whisker marks on his cheeks became black as well, even thicker, as the fox eyes changed into the Rinnegan as well. The clone disappeared as a giant, now mutated fox launched towards Madara, but suddenly it blurred out of sight, before appearing behind Madara and cracking the Susanoo's neck. As Naruto leaped from the fox and kicked Madara straight through his Susanoo. Madara's body was sent spiraling before boom, hitting the ground as Naruto dropped from the sky like a lightning bolt, purely black lightning, as he crashed right into Madara's chest. As Naruto jumped away, as Naruto's chest opened up a bit, as he started to fire out a massive beam, as the thing crashed down on Madara. Naruto raised his hands towards the Kyuubi as the thing stopped, as the thing started to convert into a small ball. As Naruto raised his hand, Planetary Devastation, Ninetale, Beast Moon, Earth then rised up around the ball that Naruto just created before it was launched towards Madara, as everything exploded under the crash. The only thing preventing the moon that Naruto just fired off from crushing the entire hidden stone was a barrier that Naruto just placed up, as he regulated the pressure around him, using the Deva and the Prida path so it wouldn't get out of control and incinerate everyone. As the moon pushed down deeper with Madara still under it, Naruto's armor, his black obsidian armor, was being melted off his torso. It was like he had pulled the literal moon out of the sky. The gravitational pull was devastating, so he had to use the Deva and Prida path to keep it up, so the place wouldn't get totally destroyed. That gun base that Madara used, it destabilized his armor. That is the reason why it is being damaged right now, as he had to stop the mixture of the mutated chakra and the Kyuubi's chakra, because it would keep on burning until it reached the center of the earth. As Naruto made his way over towards the crash site, it seems I overdid it, he said. Nearly half of the hidden village was still destroyed, even though he tried to keep the destruction to a minimum. He shook off his concern as he clenched his fist. The moon was broken to pieces as the ashes flew straight in Naruto's body. As Naruto made his way straight down into the center of the destruction where Madara was, Naruto had given him back full control and full use of his chakra. But the man still had a bit of chakra left, and his Mangekyou still activated. Madara's hand shot forward towards his eye, but Naruto grabbed it. You're the second Uchiha to try something like that. As Naruto incinerated his hand, this battle has already served its purpose. What purpose? Asked Madara. Naruto simply raised his hand. Soul Eater, he said. But guys, be in subs right here. For something part of this, know to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn the bell notifications they posted. Remember, share to all of your friends and social media platform. But I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.